It is not important how long a person lives. What is essential is how meaningful and purposeful their life is. Pandit Shriram Sharma Acharya ji. Book title विकृत चिंतन रोग शोक का मूलभूत कारण. Distorted thinking, root cause of grief and disease. Discontentment in the world today and its solution. In today's materialistic world, dissatisfaction is spreading like a contagious disease. There are many reasons for its rise, in which the tendency of competition is prominent. The spirit of healthy competition gives a person constant inspiration to move forward in life. Motivated by the desire for growth, a person makes wholehearted efforts in their life. But this quality becomes a curse when the spirit of healthy competition gets contaminated by the desire for materialistic accumulations. The moment need becomes greed, discontentment starts to rise. Today, most people are engaged in false aspirations of unnecessary fashion, luxury items, and expensive lifestyles, leading to stress, anxiety, grief, and chaos. Suppose the spirit of competition is adequately utilized in the field of life to include virtues like frugality, simplicity, gentleness, benevolence, etc. In that case, happiness and peace will be abundant in the world. Read this book to learn how to stay in a state of permanent contentment along with healthy aspirations. Ego, the root cause of all conflicts and their avoidance. The famous theologian Clive Staples Lewis wrote, "The ego is satisfied not by having something, but by having that thing more than another." The meaning of ego is the claim to prove oneself superior to others. Due to egoism, people get greedy so that they look rich compared to others, and they try to suppress others so that they can prove their supremacy and fool others so that they can prove themselves wise. Millions of people were killed and more were injured in the last World War. The reason for this horrific massacre was the belief of a person that his castle was the best, and she or he, being the supreme leader of the best caste, is the most powerful, best, and most significant person in the world. The ego separates humans from their original being, the Almighty, the same as a small vessel separates a part of the seawater from the ocean itself. That is why all the sages have called being free from ego's prison is true liberation. Read this book to learn how you can live an ego-free life. Distortion of perspective compels us to fail. I am the unluckiest person in the world, or I failed the test. I will fail the exam as well. I am not good at studies. I am not going to make up to university. Or while looking down from the window of a high-rise building, I might fall. These are just few examples of cognitive distortions, thought patterns that cause people to view reality accurately, usually negatively. In his bestseller book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Dr. Murphy wrote, "Your conscious mind serves as the watchman at the gate." One of the most crucial functions is to protect your subconscious mind from false impressions. Your subconscious mind simply reacts to the impressions given to it by your conscious mind. It does not pick and choose among different courses of action. It merely takes what it is given. Read this book to understand how cognitive distortion is affecting our life. Where does distorted thinking come from and its fixation? Research suggests people develop such habitual errors in their thinking over the course of time while coping up with adverse life events. In the mental excitement of jealousy, malice, anguish, anger, passion, fury, etc., the mental energy which could have produced extraordinary achievements is badly destroyed. This quasi-mania can be prevented by controlling the stimulus, and such savings can be utilized to identify ways to cope with adversities and mobilize the means to overcome them. Control over these impulses can only be achieved in a sophisticated state of mind. Read this book to know the practical ways of directing this infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind towards the well-being of yours and the world's. Few excerpts from the book. Discontentment is a sign of mental poverty. It is such mental anguish that burns a person with pain continuously like wet wood. It originates from the feeling of deprivation, as a result of which people keep on considering themselves inferior in comparison to others, because of which feelings of jealousy and lowliness arise. Due to ego, the human race has not only become a victim of violence and destruction, but the moral degradation of human has also taken place due to it. Ego gives birth to evils like selfishness, narrow-mindedness, arrogance, greed, attachments, immorality, corruption, incest, etc. It is natural to have its resonance in society, and for this reason, from communal tensions to the war between two nations, it becomes the cause of human misery. A person caught in the clutches of laziness and arrogance destroys 3/4 of their power. If the wastage of time and labor can be stopped, then it will appear that the power of action has increased manifold. Out of ignorance, with half-heartedness and other-mindedness, people negligently work like a forced laborer. As a result, they are all confused, unsuccessful, flawed, etc. Distortions of perspective compel us to fall into unreasonable confusions and remain unhappy. Whether we are poor or rich is decided only in comparison with others. When one is weighed in contrast to the rich, one looks more inferior. But if you start weighing yourself with the poor, then it will seem that every step of the way there is a defeat, there have been stumbling blocks, and one has to face defeat again and again. And when another list of failures can be prepared, then it will be seen how much good fortune has been supported and how much success has been achieved from time to time by the grace of God. Cowardice and aggression are twin sisters. A coward from within only is aggressive towards weakness. Similarly, there's a close relationship between selfishness and cruelty. A selfish person is always cruel. An uncultured person is without compassion, and one who does not have internal integrity in ethics will be a criminal. Even after this, if unintentionally misdeed happens, then the mental anguish caused by it can be removed by the process of repentance and self-acceptance. Indian sages and teachers legislated repentance for this purpose so that the ill effects of unintentional misdeeds could be avoided. In spite of being deliberately indulging in sinful deeds, after awakening the wisdom by adopting the process of atonement, one can wash off the sins. Some topics from the book. Do not let your aspirations distort. Ego, the root cause of all conflicts. Cause of all miseries, distorted thinking. Encourage yourself rather than discouraging. Do not let your mind wander. The indulgent thinking style has to be reversed. Never give up far-sightedness. Do not suppress your emotions. Do not ignore small things.